Okay, so today I'm going to give y'all an overview of STEM programs and resources that can be used in your after-school program. So my name's Lily Pruitt, and I'm the TPI STEM Graduate Assistant. So first, we're going to look at the Alabama Course of Study STEM standards. So these are designed to prepare the students for the career and technical demands of the future. So these standards promote student engagement and interest in the STEM fields. So we're going to look at some of the standards. So what I wanted to point out on here is that these standards are different from the typical science and math standards because the grade levels are grouped together. So this is 6th through 8th and then 9th through 12th. So the standards are going to be grouped together in these. So you can see there's 6 through 8 right here, and you can change the duration of the course to be either 6 weeks, 9 weeks, 1 semester, or 1 year. And then I'm going to scroll down and show you some of the high school standards. So these are some high school standards, and you can see it shows you what like a course credit should be if you do this for a semester-long course. And these are specifically for 9th through 12th. So these standards are only grades 6 through 12. These also have a big emphasis on the engineering design process. So that's something that the standards go back to a lot. Okay, so we'll keep going. Okay, so next we're going to look at the Alabama Course of Study standards for science, math, and technology. So technology and computer science has become much more important in the recent years because of the prevalence of jobs in these fields. So on this page, you'll have links to each of these standards that we'll send out, so you'll have access to. And we'll go back and look at, these are the science standards I opened. And one thing I was going to point out is anything with a gear beside the standards is a STEM challenge already made. So if you need an idea of a STEM activity or challenge to do, you can just find anything on the standards with the gear beside it, and it'll tell you exactly what the students could do. So like this one says, define problems and design solutions to monitor and mitigate human impact on the environment. And it gives you some examples of ways to do that. So you can scroll through for any grade and you can find a gear and it'll show you a STEM challenge to do. Okay, so this one is the Alabama Learning Exchange. So their mission is to provide educators with high quality instructional materials, and they concentrate their efforts on academic growth and achievement. So these contain all the standards for Alabama Course of Study standards. So you can find any standard you're looking for on this website as well. So they also offer learning resources and professional resources. So we'll go look at that too. And I want to show you an example of how you can use this. So you can pick any topic. So say you're just going to type in alternative energy. That's your topic you want to learn about. And you click search. And these are the different resources that it will pull up. And you can see that it gives you the grade level, the subject, and then the type of resource. So this one is just a classroom resource, and it shows here that it's a video. But then here it shows you a standard and then the learning resources that come with it. And so you can scroll through and see these for all different grade areas and all the different things that it offers on here. And another thing is if you have specific grades that you're looking for, you can select those on the left side and just see the information for K through 5, if that's all that your program offers. Okay, and then next is the next generation science standards. So these are some newer standards, and they include a lot of critical thinking and communication skills. And they lay out these in disciplinary core ideas, science and engineering practices, and cross-cutting concepts. So this website contains standards, ideas on how to incorporate them, and planning and communication. So sometimes these standards can be useful to use along with your Alabama course of study standards. And this is that website that you can reach from the link on the PowerPoint, and you can search in any term. So we'll do photosynthesis, and it will show you all the standards that talk about photosynthesis. And you can change the grade level if you want a certain grade level, and the cross-cutting concepts, which are patterns, cause and effect, energy and matter. You can choose any of those, and it'll filter your results. Okay, so next is Makerspace. So this is an area that allows students to gain hands-on learning in real-life application. So these are things that teachers can set up in their classroom or have a cart for. They can use a tinkering kit, or it can complement a lesson. So I've seen some teachers during free time, students can go and do this. You can also have an activity that goes along with it. This gives students a STEM experience at a young age, and it also changes the learning environment from passive to active. So this also aligns with the NGSS standards, which we just talked about, because it emphasizes a collaborative design workplace. So these are some pictures of creative ways that it's been done in a classroom. And one of the good things about Makerspace is it's not like a specific kit that you have to buy. You can do it in a lot of different ways, and you can use resources that you already have. So on the PowerPoint that you'll have access to, there's all these different articles and kits that you can click on, and it'll take you to ways that you can create your own with using items you already have and packs that you can buy. There's some kits that contain just a few things, and then they have huge kits that could contain anything you would need for an entire grade level or program. So next is Brain Pop. So this engages students through games, animated movies, and activities, and it's all learning related. So these are available for grades K through 12, and they have some for English language learners. So this is a professional learning service for educators to strengthen and elevate instructional best practices across the curriculum. So they design this to help students understand things while also still engaging them and it being playful to them. And so these are some pictures of like the different topics that they have. They have science, social studies, English, math, arts and music, health. So there's lots of different subjects that you could use this for. It doesn't just have to be science or technology. You can use it for all the other subjects too, and they have health. So some of the teacher resources they offer if you get a teacher account are lesson plans, activity ideas, tutorials for how to do the different ones, and resources to get more help on the different activities. So PhET activities, these allow students to interact with variables like science would. So you can see on the right, there's a picture of the cannon. And so this allows students to really understand the projectile and the motion that's going on and visually see it through something that might feel like a game to them. So they can also speed up and slow down time, which of course you can't do in real life. So it allows them to interact with things a little more hands-on. So this is really good for chemistry and physics. So for the older grades, sixth grade and up, and there's a PDF for each stimulation and a tutorial on how to run it. So there's also alignment documents for each simulation, so you can see which standards they align with. So then Project Lead the Way is created by teachers and led by educators. And it's an innovative nonprofit organization and it contains a lot of hands-on STEM learning. And they have different curriculums. One is called Launch, Gateway, Algebra 1, Computer Science, Engineering, and Biomedical Science. So these also align with the NGSS standards and the Alabama Course of Study standards for grades K through 12. So any grade you have, you can find an activity on here, and as well as teacher support and professional development. So Alabama Water Watch is an Alabama agricultural experiment station. So this is an educational initiative for students to learn about water. So it's pretty simple and it doesn't cover a lot of topics, but it's a good way for students to understand the water in our environment on a deeper level. So they have the 4-H program, educator workshops, a curriculum, and they go through the rivers of Alabama. And this also aligns with the NGSS and Alabama Course of Study standards. So next is Stellarium. So this is a mobile online planetarium and it's based on their web project. It allows students to explore the solar system realistically, and students can view all kinds of things on this website that you wouldn't normally be able to see. So some of the cool features that students can do on here, they can change location their location on Earth, and they can change the time of day or the date, and they can also drag to different locations to see a different location close up, and they can see the information of each object. So you can click on a star and see the information about the star. And it's also offered in multiple languages. So next is Globe. This is an educational resource that helps teachers teach the scientific method. So they have a teacher's guide that provides access to the protocols, learning activities, data sheets, field guides, and associated data. So they have 5 investigation areas, and it's the atmosphere, Earth as a system, hydrology, land cover, and soil. So there's a teacher's guide that has been chosen by the National Science Education Standard published by the U.S. National Academy of Sciences. So the teacher's guide allows you to search specific standards to align. So this can also be used grades K through 12. So Planting Science is a student-teacher-scientist partnership promoting plant-based learning in 6th through 12th grade classrooms. So this is an educational initiative that connects students with science mentors to conduct hands-on plant biology projects. So the goals of this program are to increase motivation toward learning about plants and encourage more expansive, less stereotypical views of science. So this is to get students interested in learning more about it. So they have collaborative learning, inquiry-based learning, and use of technology, and it aligns with the NGSS standards, and it also supports the Alabama Course of Study standards. So some of the benefits are that it's engaging, it gives students real-world applications, and they can develop skills throughout. So the paleobiology database is a public database that anyone can use, and it shows fossils from different eras and in different areas, and they can explore the data online through the navigator, and they can also filter occurrences by time, space, and taxonomy. So this displays modern and paleogeographic locations, and you can also download the data to your own computer. So the NASA STEM program for educators, their mission is to foster STEM literacy. So this aligns with the NGSS standards for Earth and space, physical science, life science, engineering, technology, and applications of science. So their program has a lot of components. They have professional development workshops, comprehensive educational resources, lesson plans, activities, and a lot of collaboration opportunities. And this is also available for grades K through 12. They also have field trips offered through this program as well. So the MIT App Inventor relates to the coding portion of the Alabama Course of Study objectives. So there's not many activities that I've been able to find that are about coding. So this is a good one that students can create their own app. So students establish a connection over Wi-Fi and they will create their own app and they get tutorials for all levels of students. And so they have a computational thinking curriculum that is 10 units and it's 50 hours of content. So there's mobile computer science principles curriculum and professional development. So Hudson Alpha, they have resources that contain downloadable apps, online timelines, games, and there's educational kits that you can purchase as well. And this program also aligns with the NGSS and Alabama Course of Study standards. So now we're going to look at the Hudson Alpha Educator Resource Hub. Okay, so this, under the Educate tab, and you go to Educator, I'm on Classroom Resources. There's all kind of different resources that are available. So you can see the different topics: cell and cell processes, classroom supports, heredity, energy, molecules of life, and technology. And so we'll click on cell and cell processes. And when you click on them, you can see there's a 3D cell cycle. This is a modeling activity. There's a 3D model project, and there's also a video. There's more videos, and then modeling activity. So it shows you what each one is, and you can view the resource, and it will explain more about them. So you can see the used chromosomes to model the behavior of chromosomes during mitosis. So you click on it, and you can download the PDF that shows you how to do that activity. So we'll go back and look at technology and tools. So this one has a bunch of resources as well. This one includes a digital activity that students can complete, modeling activities, and teaching tools. You can see the digital activities, simulations that students can do. So this website contains a lot of resources that you can use, and it's available in PDF form, and it will explain it all to you. Okay, so next is EdHeads. So this is a website that includes 5 games, 4 videos, and 7 mysteries. So each activity aligns with national standards, and it's also free to use. So in order to view the standards in their alignment, you have to register as a teacher to access the teacher content. And within the teacher content, there are standards that are listed for each activity that they offer. So the majority of the interactive activities on the website directly align with the NGSS standards, but it's based on Ohio State standards rather than Alabama. So you might, whenever you're going through these and finding the different standards, you might have to search on the Alabama course of study for which standards it would align with for the Alabama. But it does align with the NGSS. So then OpenSci Ed, this is a free resources and it contains over 900 curriculums. So this has the amount of resources for a whole year's worth of instruction. So each grade level has access to instructional materials, instructions, standards, simulation library, video library, and support if you need it. So the instructional materials contain a lesson for each standard for each grade, and it aligns with the NGSS standards. So now we're going to look at the OpenSci Ed website. So this has a lot of good resources, especially because you can go to elementary school, middle school, or high school. So I'm going to click on middle school. And for each elementary, middle, or high, you'll have all these options, and there's instructional materials, how to get started, standard alignment, simulation library, video library, and the support. So we're going to look at the standards alignment. And it shows you on a chart how it is related to the standards and what standards that it meets. So you can see the topics here. So even though it's not directly aligned with the Alabama standards, it shows you the topics. And we'll go back to these Alabama standards and type in. So you see right here, it's like weather, climate, and water cycling. You can go to the Alabama standards and Command F and type in weather and enter, and it will show you all the ones on the sheet. See, there's 44, and you can find a standard that is going to align with the activity on this page. So this page offers a ton of resources that you can use. Okay, next we're going to go to the instructional materials. So you can choose your grade, grade 6, 7, or 8, and for each grade level, there's enough units for an entire year's worth of teaching. So these are 6 different units, and you click on one of the units, and then they have it divided into different lessons. So this is the unit summary, and there's videos and a unit webinar. And there's different lessons within each unit. Okay, so the link up here is the standards alignment, and then the link on the right is the program overview for this OpenSci Ed. Okay, so next is the Center for Advancement of Informal Science Education. So this provides resources and connections for educators, and it lists resources for informal STEM learning and experiences. So it build and advance the informal STEM education field, and it works in cooperation with the National Science Foundation's Advancing Informal STEM Learning Program. So some of the key resources that they have are the participation toolkit and a development resource. So those are all the ones that I have for today. We learned about 19 different STEM programs that you can use during your after school time. And in January, we'll go through 24 more and go into more detail on any of the ones that anyone has questions about or wants to learn more about. So if you have any comments or questions, you can email me at my email listed here, and it will be sent out in the weekly email as well.